Okay, hello everybody, this is Balav, and I'm going to be doing some developer commentary for Dubloon. Oh yeah. Dubloon took about 13 months to beat, or make. In that time, I guess just a lot of stuff happened, a lot of things I could talk about, and I usually like to hear about, other developer commentaries, things that motivated developers' decisions and stuff, so I thought I'd record one of my own. I think I'm going to go through the entire game about as quick as I can. I'm going to try and skip extra stuff to avoid spoilers. Um, yeah. So, I started Dubloon early May 2009, I think it was. I basically, one weekend, decided to play through Zelda Wind Waker again just from the beginning for fun. And at the time, I was sort of looking for what game I'd be making next. I was starting to do a pirate game. I wasn't really sure what exactly a pirate game would be, but I just knew I wanted to make a game that really was they had a pirate experience to it, if that makes sense. And then I played Wind Waker for a week, and I realized wow, this is exactly the pirate game I wanted to make. Like Wind Waker, I think sort of was what I wanted to make, but I couldn't make that. So I was looking for more ideas. I'm turn the music a little bit. And I decided that a good medium for a pirate game would be an RPG. Sort of has a focus on exploration, discovery. And I thought it'd be really important to emphasize the bond between a pirate crew and the way RPGs, you always fight as a team. Sort of helped emphasize that. So that was really basically the only concepts I had when I started out. I think what I'll do in some post-production is overlay original screenshots from the game, so you can sort of see what it looked like compared from then to now. The battle system was sort of my first idea from it came from playing Chrono Trigger. I got it for the DS back in Christmas of that year. And I like the combination, sort of you had the turn-based stuff, but they had the action bars that filled out and sort of brought in some live action, timing into it. I didn't really want a game where you could just sit at the keyboard and actually pay attention to the battle, and you would could just come back after an hour and still win it. You know what I mean? If you leave the fight alone in the balloon, the enemies will destroy you. So something that sort of kept you in the game. And the mouse-based interface was another idea I had early on. Just something that was really simple to control. Drag and drop, click to move. And then I brought lots of new ideas into that, like the drag and drop items you use on the screen, like the bombs and whatnot. Oh yeah. As far as the story goes, when I first started out, I didn't really have a lot in mind. I sort of, for a while, I just honestly made it up as I went along. I really just wanted to make just a pirate story, I think, was the only real direction I had with it. When I made this part, this tutorial, whatever, the first dungeon, I made it within 1 week. And that was basically all I had in mind for the story. I had this, the golden chest, which I knew was going to be the driving force, sort of what kept the story going. And then the initial meeting between you and your, pirate friend. That was a really cool idea where I'll talk about it in a second. As for this bit, originally there wasn't a fight here. A lot of people actually played the original version would probably know that, but it used to be there was just a little cutscene and you would watch your guy get beat up. But I thought it'd be more fun to put you in the fight and then let you get beat up. I actually added a little tidbit. If you manage to beat Bradley, he says an extra line of dialogue where he's you cheater, and then you still go to jail. So it's not worth the effort to do, but it's in there. This guy right here is actually was the original like prototype pirate I had for the main character. That's what I thought maybe he could look like. Sort of put him in the jail as a reference. Doop 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 doop. La da da la da da. I'm not gonna like really stop and read these because either you've played the game and you know what it says, or you haven't played the game and you should know what it says until you play it for yourself. Ha. So for the sake of this, I'm just gonna go with like the first default name I gave them. I never really, I know like I have the default names in there, but I never really grew very attached to them. Usually every time I play the game, I give them a different name, which is sort of interesting to think that like, I don't know, like I have like these characters who I really like thought a lot about, but I never really gave them names that I subscribed to fully. I've heard some really funny like names for them. I like creative stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, here we go. Anne, the pirate lady. One thing I knew about her really early on, which is sort of interesting, I guess, is that I knew she was going to be stronger than you when you first meet her. I really wanted, like, to sort of break some basic RPG cliches. Like, you know, you have the princess who's good at magic and not good at fist fights, and, I don't know, sort of stereotypical. Here in this game, the lady is physically the strongest. She's also the most experienced, and she's the one who kind of knows where you're going. In a sense, she's really the one who sort of leads the plot, because she always is the one who says, like, you know, let's go here, let's check that out. So it was sort of a cliche-breaking thing, if you will. And I'll see how much I do in terms of editing. I might not, like, record in 10 or 11 minute segments. I might just, like, run over and then cut it in half and put it up mid-sentence or whatever. We'll see. I'm not too interested in doing much with editing here. Do, 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 do. The soundtrack was composed by a guy named Prophecy, who I actually haven't spoken to in over a year now. A really, really long time ago, he sent me a folder of MIDI music. It was like 60 files. He said that I could use for whatever. Back when you were talking, and then eventually disappeared. I never heard from him again. But I still have that folder of like just all this music, and the entire soundtrack basically came from selections from that folder. And it was actually, and this is all chosen from the same selection of music that I picked from for Assassin Blue and Crazy Over Goo. So yeah, eventually I'm probably gonna like, actually I think this is probably the last game I could do from that library of music, because I'm starting to run low on original tracks. How are we doing here? Level 5, level 4. Usually for the first boss fight, level 6 and level 7 is what I aim for. Make it nice and easy. Getting there. I actually remember when I made this dungeon, it was actually the week of finals at my school. So I think I like started this one weekend, or the weekend right before the exams, and I was supposed to be studying. And I was having a lot of trouble like staying focused on my exams, because I was full of ideas for this game, and I wanted to like finish this dungeon, and I'd drawn out like 2 different versions of maps for it. I got really into it. That's just usually what tends to happen when I make these games. I get like really into them and I start to abandon all my other whatever aspects of my life. I start to neglect my friends and they get really lonely and they call me and they say, "We miss you." And I say, "Well, I'm working on a game about pirates right now, so maybe we can hang out some other time, dude." Alright, I see from my record that I have about 30 seconds left before I hit the YouTube limit. I'm going to make a mad run for this next safe spot. Actually, I'm just going to keep playing. I'll call it a video here, though. Happy episode 1. This is Bono signing out.